Hey guys, TravelingKetoCat here, and I'm going to be talking about one of my keto hacks that I've been doing a lot lately. And I was given the opportunity to try these new thin flatbreads, and they're from CutDaCarb. And there's a couple things that are awesome about these compared to some of the other flatbreads that are out there, and I'm gonna go through those pretty quickly. And I'll also show some ways that I've been using them because I haven't been missing bread or anything like that. And this is one of the reasons why, because I can still kind of have some, bready type things without it packing a lot of carbs. So these are sold currently in packs of 12 and they come in a package looking like this. And these ones are the ones that I've been keeping in the freezer. You can actually freeze them for up to about 6 months. And what I've been doing is just pulling them out of the freezer at about 2 at a time, because for me, I cut them in half and, I'll have like one half for something and like give my husband the other half or save the other half for whatever else I'm gonna make. What I have been doing is if I'm making something in advance, I can usually make like 2 servings of it, so I have another serving of it later. And I think a common way that people think of using wraps is of course like sandwiches and stuff like that, but I've been getting into more of using them in terms of pizzas, as well as sweeter dishes such as crepes. One of the things that I will say that is different about these compared to some of the other flatbreads that are out there on the market right now is the extent of actually how thin these are. Some people really like having like a more like bready texture to their flatbreads, but for me, I personally like the flatbread is pretty much a means to get the innards into my belly. So having this be super thin allows me to feel like I'm eating a crepe if I make it sweet, or if I'm eating something savory like a pizza, it's really, really crunchy, and I really like crunchy things. So for me, this is right up my alley. But in terms of the macros, another thing that I did notice about these is 1/2 is about 4 carbs. So it's just in line with a lot of the other, low carb flatbreads that I've seen out there on the market right now. But one thing that is different is in terms of what's in these, it's pretty much just like 3 ingredients, which is pretty cool. Low carbohydrate flour, water, and salt. And that's it. So in terms of knowing what's going in your food and what's going in your body, that is a little better for me personally. But again, it's all maybe just a matter of personal preference. But so far, these have been working out really great. And I will continue to use them. Post back if I figure out like any pain points. But so far, the only learning curve that I had with these is that because they are so thin, they sometimes can be harder to work with if you're not familiar with like how easily they can tear because they're pretty thin. So that said, what I'll generally do is soften them up just a little bit, and if all else fails, you can always turn it into like a sandwich instead, like a stacked quesadilla type sandwich instead of like a roll up. But in terms of working with them, they're pretty easy to use. They come in a Ziploc bag like this, which is pretty nice. Keep it closed and sealed up, and all that goodness. And you just basically take them out like this, and they're sealed again. So you just open the seal.
A few moments later.
It's actually kind of interesting. They have like a rougher side, which is this side here, and then they have a softer side, which is this side here. And this is still a little frozen, so it's probably gonna be a little more fragile. So just take them out about half an hour or so, before you wanna like work with them if you're gonna try to roll them up or anything like that. But another thing that I've been doing with these is also using them to pretty much like pre-portion out, like getting a lot of toppings and cheeses without necessarily having a lot of bread. So I can sometimes cut this up into like 4 servings. Just depends on how you want to use it. But they are GMO free, they're vegan, they're kosher. So all in all, pretty good win. And if you were to eat an entire one of these, 60 calories. So the calories on this are lower than other flatbreads. So I don't know, seems pretty good. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed just this quick review of the CutDaCarb thinnest flatbreads, and they are sold online currently, CutDaCarb.com, or Instagram is actually where I found these guys, CutDaCarb, and they've been super cool, really fun to work with, and I really like just, I don't know, how easily you can kind of manipulate it without it like loading you up on the carbs. So enjoy.